So well, this is our presentation. And the presentation, as you see, let me just, okay, here is it. I think you can see it now. We're going to talk about probability in this unit. So, first of all, we're going to revise many important notes about the probabilities that you took in grade 7. The first lesson of our unit is the probability that an outcome does not happen. So that's on page 149 in your course book. The main outcome in our lesson is to understand how to find the probability of outcomes that are not happening. Okay, and we already know how to find probabilities, but anyway, we will revise it in the beginning of the session. But after revising together how to find probabilities, we're going to learn today how to find probabilities of outcomes or events that will not happen. Okay, so let's remember these notes first. How likely something is. Probability is how likely something is to happen. You might also hear it called chance. Like sometimes you ask yourself, what's the chance that it's gonna rain tomorrow, or it's gonna be sunny tomorrow, or having homework today? So that is what the probability about. Probability can be expressed as fractions, decimals, or percentages, or on a probability scale. So this is the probability scale. Our probabilities all the time are between 0 and 1. That one is one whole, okay? Like the one whole of fractions, it depends on your denominator. And it can be 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7, 3 out of 3, 100 over 100, 9 out of 9, numerator over the same numerator. As decimals, it's 1.0. As percentages, do you remember what is the one whole of the percentage? It's 100%, okay? The 0 means impossible. Impossible, it will never happen. Like for example, if I ask you, what's the probability that it's gonna rain on August? Mostly it's actually 7%. It's impossible to rain in August إلا إذا هيك صار إشي يعني unusual. Okay. What's the probability? Probability or chance is how likely something is to happen. That is the general meaning of probabilities. If something has low probability, it means that event is unlikely to happen. Yani it's gonna happen, but I'm not so sure about it. But if something has a high probability, it's likely to happen. So there's something called likely or unlikely. Likely, يعني I'm so sure, or not I'm so sure, يعني I think it's gonna happen. It has a high chance of happening. Unlikely means يعني it might happen, but I'm not so sure about that. For example, look at this spinner. In this spinner, there are only these numbers, 4, 5, 3, and 6. What is the chance of spinning the numbers in the boxes below? Match each box to the correct word. So, the first one is done. Getting an odd number. The word certain, do you remember the meaning of it? It means that this event, I'm so sure it will happen. Okay, يعني 100% will happen. So getting an odd number. So do you see odd numbers among these numbers in the spinners? There is 3 and 5 as an odd number. So we have 2 odd numbers out of how many numbers in the spinner? 4. So we call this even chance. Why even chance? Because the number of odd numbers 2 out of all the numbers 4. 2 out of 4, يعني 2 is half of 4 already. So this is even chance. هلا, getting number 2. What's the probability of getting number 2? Do you see number 2 here? There isn't any 2 here. So it's impossible to get number 2 for this spinner. And the last one, a number less than 10. What's the probability to get a number less than 10 here? It's certain because all the numbers are actually less than 10. So whatever you spin and whatever you get on the spinner, it will be something less than 10. So the language of probability depends on certain means one whole, like for example, the sun rising tomorrow. This is something that we are sure about it. The sun will rise tomorrow. That's something certain to happen. Even chance is half. Getting, like for example, tails when you toss a coin. Now the coin has 2 outcomes. If you toss any coin, you might get head or tail. There's nothing else that might happen. So getting a tail is 1 tail out of 2 outcomes, head and tail. Not likely, like 1/6, for example. If you roll a dice, rolling a 6, getting number 6 from the dice is 1/6, because on the dice, we just have the numbers from 1 to 6. How many 6s do we have? Only 1 6. So it's 1 out of 6 faces for the dice. So we will get number 6, but it's unlikely, less than the half. Impossible, 0, like rolling number 8 on a dice. The dice doesn't have number 8, so that's something impossible to happen. So this is in general the main ideas of probabilities. Let's do this example together. So in the first one here, you can spin any number from 1 to 6 on this spinner. Write a number that is impossible to happen. هلا, what numbers that are impossible to happen? Any number less than 1, that's something impossible. We don't have numbers less than 1 or numbers more than 6. These numbers are impossible to get. Now in this bag you have striped balls and spotty balls, white balls and gray balls. So, or actually marbles. Pit pulls out one marble without looking, so she is choosing one of the marbles. Which kind of marbles that Pit most likely to pull out? Most likely, it means yani, the most common marbles here are the white marbles, because there are more white marbles than any other types of marbles. This is the explanation of it. Okay, how to express probability? I already told you we can express it as a fraction. The probability of getting tails when you toss a coin is 1 in 2, or we write it as a fraction, 1/2. 1 tail over 2 outcomes, head or tail. The probability of getting a 3 when you roll a dice, how do you think we write the probability of that? How many 3s do we have in the dice? Only 1. Out of how many options or how many outcomes we might get from the dice? We have 6 outcomes. We might get 1, 2, 3, up to 6. Now, The probability of these, for example, these are some other fractions. What is the probability of rolling a 4 with a dice? It's again 1 over 6. What's the probability of rolling an odd number with a dice? How many odd numbers do we have in the dice? 3 odd numbers, which is 1, 3, and 5 out of 6. So it's 3 over 6, or you can write it as 1 over 2, simplified. But in general, we don't write our probabilities with the fractions in simplest form. So keep your fractions, if you are asked to find the probability, as the original fraction without simplifying. Number 3, a bag contains 7 buttons. 3 of them are green. So what's the probability of getting a green button? How many green buttons do we have? 3 out of all the number of buttons, 7. So 3 out of 7 is how to write the probability of getting a green button. Number 4, a bag contains 3 red and 5 green marbles. What's the probability of getting a red? And how many red marbles are there? 3 out of all the number of marbles, red and green together, 8. So it's 3 over 8. Okay. Nada, do you want to say anything? Nada.
Teacher, I want to ask if you can express probabilities by ratios.
By?
Ratios.
Equations?
No, ratios.
Ratios? No.
Okay.
No, we don't write probabilities as ratios, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Mariam, what Mariam? Or Natalie, actually, first.
Miss, I wanted to ask if like someone's notebook is done, what should we do?
If what?
If someone's notebook is done, like my notebook is done, the classwork.
Use any notebook from your home if you have extra notebooks. Not necessarily to be Mayar's notebook, Adi, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mariam.
Teacher, I didn't really understand the last example on the last page or slide.
Which one, Mariam? This one? Number
yes.
4?
Yeah.
Bag contains 3 red and 5 green marbles. What's the probability of getting a red? How many red marbles are there?
3.
All the marbles together, red and green, how much?
8.
How many? So that's it, 3 out of 8. Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's continue now. We are now in this slide. We can also present the probabilities as percentages or decimals. Okay, so for example, if you go back to the head and tail in the coin, we say it's 1 out of 2. When you toss a coin, it's 1 out of 2. If you want to write this as percentage, it's half. 1 over 2 is half. If you write it as percentage, is 50%. Okay, so half means 1 over 2 in the language of fractions, and 0.5 in the language of decimals, and 50% in the language of percentages. Which one we use, it doesn't matter. You choose the one you want, and in most of times, we use it as fractions. Sometimes the question already write it as percentages. So the question will not tell you which way to express your probability as. The 3 over 4, look, 3 over 4. If you have this probability, If you need to write this as a decimal, it's 0.75. As percentage, 75%. We took all this, by the way, in details in the unit of fractions and percentages. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Look, what is the probability as a decimal of getting head when you toss a coin? See, as a decimal, it's 0.5. Something that has an even chance of happening has a probability of what percentage? Even chance, يعني half. دايما even chance means like half the outcomes. Okay, so as percentage, half the outcomes means 50%. Now look at this question, number 3 here. It says, a bag contains just 5 buttons, all of which are blue. So 5 buttons, all of them are blue. What's the probability of picking a red button from the bag? It's 0, because we don't have any red button. They are all blue. Jude?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes.
When they ask like what is the possibility, should we write like a number or impossible, unlikely, likely? Like, is it important to write a number?
No. What's the possibility? It's not necessarily to write a number, but when you are asked what's the probability, you have to write a number.
Okay.
Okay, دايما do.
So in the last one we can't write impossible, right?
No. What's the probability? It should be 0 or 0%. Okay? Not impossible. Impossible is the possibility of getting a red button, which is impossible to happen. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Tala, fast, يلا Tala.
Teacher, when do we write the words like impossible and likely and certain?
Girls, listen to each other. I just answered that for Jude. Numbers, when you asked what's the probability? Words, what's the possibility? Okay.
Thank you.
Yara?
Miss Hala, I wanted to ask if we wanted to write it as a percent or as a decimal.
Yeah.
We did, يعني, it wasn't exactly half, like it was like either more or less. How are we supposed to write it?
Well, it depends on the outcomes and the thing that you're talking about.
I know, but مثلا say that it was مثلا like one, like مثلا, I don't know how to explain it. Like it was 1/4 and you wanted it as a percentage.
Yeah, what's 1
How
over
are we
4 as
So
percentage?
we should just do it normally to turn it into هذا?
Yeah, long division.
Okay, thank you.
1 divided by 4. Or if you can make the denominator 100, multiply it by 25, so it's going to be 25%.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that basically goes back to your calculations. Okay, let's continue to the next slide. So again, this is the possibility. See, possibility scales, not probable. Okay, in this possibility scales, we have impossible, unlikely. Unlikely, and it's something that has a low chance to happen. Even chance is in the middle. Likely and certain, which is 100% sure that it will happen. Now, the sun will rise tomorrow. What's the possibility of having the sun that will rise tomorrow? That's of course something that we are sure about it. It's certain. You will live to be 100. What do you think? You will stay alive until you are 500 years old. That's impossible. Not even unlikely, it's impossible. You spin a coin and get a head. That's something even, because we just have two outcomes. One of them, 1 out of 2 outcomes, so this is half. You will see a bus on your way home. If you're going home, what's the possibility of seeing a bus? يعني I might يعني most possible to see it, likely. You will see an ambulance on your way home. You might see the ambulance, but you're not sure about seeing ambulance. This 5, you can write it anywhere between impossible and even chance. It's something unlikely to happen. This is the main part of our lesson. Everything before was just like revision of probabilities. Now, probabilities of an event not happening. Something will not happen, not impossible to happen, not happen. The probability of an outcome doesn't happen is, in general, as a rule, used 1 minus the probability that it does happen. Not happening means 1 minus happen. So it's 1 minus p. طبعا that 1 means 1 whole. So if you're using fractions, remember you write it as 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7, 9 out of 9. If you're using percentages, you use 100% as 1 whole. So let's do examples about this. Here, fill in the missing probabilities. It says in each one, the possibility that it will rain tomorrow is 1/4. So no rain tomorrow. It will not rain tomorrow. You do 1 minus that it will rain tomorrow. So 1 minus 1/4. You can write that 1, since our denominator in the given probability is 4, we write it as 4/4 minus 1/4, which is 3/4. And you can do that mentally. No need to write this step in the middle. If you have 1 part out of 4, how much left? 3 parts out of 4. More examples. If it will rain tomorrow, 3 out of 5. What's the probability of getting no rain tomorrow? Who can tell me? Raise your hand if you can tell me, girls. Let me hear from you. Limar?
2 out of 5.
Excellent, Limar. Yes, it's 2 out of 5. You just do 5 out of 5 minus 3 out of 5. It's 2 out of 5. Okay, one more example. If it's gonna rain tomorrow, 4 out of 7. So no rain tomorrow. What do you think, Jana, Nashwan?
It should be 3 out of 7.
Exactly, 3 out of 7. Be careful not to write only 3. If you write it 3 only without over 7, that's gonna be totally wrong. So no rain tomorrow, it's 3 out of 7. Okay, one more example. As decimals, look, as decimals, it will rain tomorrow 0.3. Who can tell me what is the probability as a decimal that it will not rain tomorrow? Nada? What do you think, Nada?
0.7.
What?
0.7.
Excellent, yes. Excellent, it's 0.7. Because look, both together, rain and not rain, both together, 0.3 and 0.7 will make 1.0, 1 whole. One more example. If it's gonna rain tomorrow, 0.4. So what do you think, Zaina Jauhari, the probability that it's not gonna rain tomorrow?
0.6.
Excellent, yes, 0.6. This is it. Type. Rain tomorrow, 0.28. So no rain tomorrow is gonna be what? Girls who answered, lower your hand, please. Let's give a chance for those who didn't answer. Lean, Kumi. No, where's Lean? She's طيب Tala.
0.72.
It's 0.72. Excellent. Look, because it's 1 whole minus 0.28. Okay, so that 1 whole as a decimal, it means 1.00 minus 0.28. You put them under each other and you subtract them, you will get 0.72. Type. This one, it will rain tomorrow, 0.07. So no rain tomorrow. Lubna. Lubna.
0.93.
Excellent, Lubna. Yes, it's 0.93. Type. Let's go to percentages. Percentages, I think, are so easy. If you have 16% as the probability of raining tomorrow, what's going to be the percentage of no rain tomorrow, Jude?
It will be so 16 over 100. 84%.
84%. Excellent.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
So, like, if the probability of the rain, it will rain tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would be little. The possibility of no rain tomorrow would be like more.
More, exactly.
يعني هم عكس بعض.
Exactly. هم التنين أصلاً they complete each other. Okay.
Yeah.
So if one of them is low chance, the other one should be high chance. Okay.
Okay.
Yalla, this one. It will rain tomorrow, 94%. So what do you think, Haneen, the percentage of no rain tomorrow?
6%.
It's 100% minus 94%, 6%. Excellent. Let's go to the practice book because we just have like 15 minutes for the class. So let's start solving questions from the practice book, from the course book, page 149. Yeah. Question number 1 says, the probability that it will be warmer today than it was yesterday is 0.1. The probability that it will be colder today than it was yesterday is 0.7. So we have 2 information in this question. Today, warmer than yesterday, they say it's 0.1. Today, colder than yesterday, it's 0.7. Part A of the question says, what's the probability that it will not be colder today than it was yesterday? So, يلا Lean. Lean.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. So what do you think part A is going to be?
0.3.
Not colder is the opposite of getting colder day. So having colder day than yesterday is 0.7. So not colder is going to be the opposite. 1 minus that it will be colder, which is 0.3. Excellent. Type part B. Mira Khmour.
It will be 0.9 because 1 minus 0.1 it's 9. 0.9.
Yeah. Excellent. Yes, excellent, Mira. So the probability that it will not be warmer. So it's 1 minus that it will be warmer. Do we have to write all these steps? No. خلاص, you can just write your final answer, which is 0.9. Okay, so no need to show all the steps. Type. Let's go to question 2. Girls, I'm lowering the hands of those who answered. Question 2 says, the table shows the age distribution of members of a gym. A member of the gym is chosen at random. What is the probability that the person is? If you look at the table, they put the percentage of those people in percentages. هلا, those who are under 21, their age under 21, there are 12%. Their ages between 21 to 35, 42%. 36 to 55, 32%. And over 55 years, 14%. هلا, part A, we need the probability of those who are 21 or more. So, Natalie.
Yes.
Yes, Natalie, what do you think? How do we find the probability of those who are 21 or more?
Like, should I give you the percentage of it?
Yes.
It could be 42%.
Why 42%?
Because it's like 21 or more.
طيب, and it could be 32%, and it could be 14%. هلا, what's the opposite of 21 or more?
21 or less.
Exactly, under 21, right?
Yes.
So what we need exactly is 1 minus those who are under 21. We don't need the 21.
We always do the opposite of it?
Exactly, we all the time do the opposite. Or you can add 42% plus 32% plus 14%, then subtract, then find it. But the easier one is to do the opposite. 21 or more, its opposite is under 21. So we do 1 minus under 21. So 1 minus 12%, which is actually 100% minus 12%, is 88%. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to part B. 55 or less. 55 or less. Jana Jole. Yes, Jana.
So we take them, we minus 1 from the 55, right?
From over 55, yes, excellent. So we do 1 minus those who are over 55. What we need is, what's the percentage of choosing someone who is his age 55 years or less? يعني 55, 36, 21, all of these who are under 55. So we need 1 minus those who are over 55%.
It's gonna be 86%.
Yes, it's 86%. Excellent. But part C, not in the 21 to 35 age group. Look, not in this group. So what's the probability of getting someone who is not in this group? Jana Dola, mute yourself again, please. Yara.
We're gonna do 12 plus 32 plus 14, which is 58. So the 58%.
Type
or we could put 1 minus 42.
Exactly. Yes, and that's what is our lesson about. The probability of things that's not going to happen is to do 1 minus, not in the 21 to 35. So it's 1 minus 42%. It's going to be exactly the same as your answer. Yani you can add the 3 other answers or subtract from 100%, which is 58%. That's question 2. Let's go to question 3. Now look. The question says the manager of a football team says that the probability that the team win next time is 0.6, and the probability that it will lose is 0.1. Find the probability that the team will not win. What do you think? Not a win. Shahid?
0.4.
It's 0.4. Excellent, because the team will win is 0.6. So not a win, 1 minus 0.6, which is 0.4. Excellent. طيب, part B, not lose. Layan?
I think it will be 0.9.
Excellent, Layan. هلا not lose. هلا losing is 0.1. So not losing, 1 minus 0.1, which is 0.9. هلا be careful. Not losing doesn't necessarily means winning. لأنه they might getting a draw. Okay, إنه يصير تعادل. Okay. Like for example, C. Thank you, Layan. C. Not draw. هلا what do you think not draw is? حلا عرفات.
Miss, it's 1 because they didn't mention anything about drawing. It's a football match.
Okay, but they mentioned something about winning and losing.
Okay, but there's nothing about drawing.
ما هو what's the opposite of drawing? Winning or losing, right?
Yeah.
So you have the information about winning and losing. Not draw, look, not draw means they will win
Yeah.
or lose. هلا winning is 0.6 and losing 0.1. Hiya, this is it, look.
0.7.
Not draw means win or lose. So 0.6 plus 0.1, which is 0.7, yes. Okay. Yalla, let's go to question 4. Thank you, Hala. Question 4 here. A survey of the makes of cars using particular road gave these results. Harsha says that it must be wrong because the probabilities do not add up to 100%. Why he's wrong? He says that this table is wrong because the sum of the 4 percentages didn't make 100%. But he's not right. Why do you think he's wrong? Let me hear Sarah Razem. She went. Okay, Sarah. Tala Qaq.
Yes.
What do you think, Tala?
That it's wrong?
Yeah. What is the table about? It's about makes of cars using particular road.
Yes.
Okay. Are these the only make in the whole world?
No, there are many more cars.
That's it. Yes, that's it. So the list doesn't include all possible makes. We might have other makes. Okay, when you talk about, for example, types of cars, you should show all the types of cars in the world. If you just show, for example, Toyota and Hyundai, that's not going to be so accurate. You should talk about Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes, all the types of cars. So why he's wrong here? Because this is not all the makes that could be happening, okay? Let's go to part B. Find the probability that the next car to use the road is not toy wagon or whatever is that. Choosing a car which is not toy wagon. Sarah Razem.
We make 1 minus 8.
1 minus 8%, yes. Which is what?
We will get, 92.
92%, excellent. Be careful, we are subtracting percentages, so that's gonna be 92% for not choosing toy wagon, because toy wagon is 8%. So the opposite of 8% to get 100% is 92. Thank you, Sarah. Type part or double I of part B, not Anindai. Haneen again. Or no, let me choose someone else. Yara Shami.
Miss, so it said that it's not a toy wagon or an Hyundai. So we're gonna add the toy
No,
wagon
no, no,
and then
no. Yada, we are in double I, not an and I only.
we're gonna subtract 100 minus 7, which is 93.
Yes, Nandai is 7%. So 100% minus 7% is 93%. Now, triple I, not a toy wagon or Nandai. Lamar. Okay, Lamar, you don't want to answer? Okay. Zainaj, who I need to see, Aisha. Aisha didn't answer. Yes, Aisha.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, so in triple I, how do you find the possibility or probability that not having toy wagon or Nandai?
So first of all, can we add 8 plus 7?
Of course, yes, excellent. هلا toy wagon and Nandai both together is 8% and 7%.
Okay. So it's 15.
Yes, هلا 15% means we will have toy wagon or Nandai. طب احنا we need not toy wagon or Nandai.
It's the 1 minus 15, which is 85.
Excellent, yes, perfect, Aisha. So first we add the toy wagon and Nandai together, which is 15%, and then we take the opposite of 15%, which is 85%. The last question, the last question 5. If you threw 3 dice, the probability of getting 3 sixes is 0.5%. The probability of getting no sixes is 57.9%. Find the probability of getting fewer than 3 sixes. هلا the dice, the bigger number that we might get is only 6. So, fewer than 3 sixes. What do you think, Zaina Jawhari?
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah. What do you think the probability of getting fewer than 3 sixes?
3 sixes is 0.5. And getting no sixes is 57.9. So we're gonna subtract.
Subtract what?
57.9.
Why 57.9?
I mean one from 0.5.
Yes, yes. هلا the 0.5 is getting sixes. هلا part A, we don't need 6. Fewer than 3 sixes. So 1 minus
0.5.
Not 0.5. Be careful. That's like 100% minus 0.5%, which is 99.5%. Okay?
I think that's 1 minus 0.5. I still didn't answer.
Okay, yes. Okay, so it's gonna be 99.5. Okay, thank you, Zaina. Yalla, the last question. I need to see other hands. Jannah already answered. Where are the others? Yalla, the last one. At least 1 6. Okay, let me choose Lean. Yes, Lean.
At least 1 6.
Yeah. هلا احنا in the question we have the probability of getting 3 sixes and probability of getting no 6. They don't want to have any 6. So part B they say at least 1 6.
So we will subtract 1 minus 57.9.
Yes, because look, at least no, at least 1 6 يعني getting no sixes. I mean the opposite of getting no sixes. So 1 minus 57.9, which is
42.1.
42.1. So that is our lesson, girls. We're gonna send it today with the live session, with the explanation of everything. Your question is page 74. Your homework is gonna be due Saturday, not after 2:30 p.m. I'm not gonna accept any homework after 2:30 p.m. Okay? So study the lesson again before you do the homework. For some students, sometimes they ask about questions in the homework that they didn't understand, but we actually did the same ideas in the live session. So watch the live session again. I'm gonna open the chatting before you leave, so you can just type your name and leave. Thank you, girls. The chatting is opened now. Once you type your name, girls, you can go. You're welcome, Haneen. Enjoy your weekend. الله يعافيك يا مستحر. شكرا لك. Bye. Teacher, what, Jana? You can ask, you are unmuted.
Teacher, I didn't understand part B from question number 5.
Part B of question 5. Hello. Part B of question 5, Jana was talking about not where. Let me share it again with you. This is it. They ask you in part B, at least 1 6, having at least 1 6. Okay? having at least 1 6 اللي هي يعني I might have 1 6 or 2 6s or 3 6s, right?
Yeah.
Because we're throwing the dice 3 times. having at least 1 6 يعني I need to get 1 6. the opposite of getting 6 or 2 6s or 3 6s is not getting no 6s at all, right? جنى مركزة معي؟ جنى Jana, she went. So anyway, Jana, you can see it again from the live session. Getting at least 1 6, it's the opposite of getting no 6s at all, which is given already in the question, so you subtract it, okay?
Teacher, she's telling you that she's muted.
Okay, Jana, you're unmuted. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yalla, take care, girls. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.